Guys, welcome everybody. Today I have my younger brother Karthik with me, and he surprisingly showed up. Like, it wasn't a surprise for me, but for the parents. He showed up in Germany and we were planning this small family get together. We went to some island in Denmark and stuff. So in short, he's here and he also has his experience of living in Canada for now the last 3 years, more than 3 years.
Yeah, it's almost 2 years and 8 months.
I wanted to make a video with him, just documenting his experiences of living in Canada, the lifestyle in general. And then we can just have a very nice contrast about how it is in Germany. Alright Kiki, let's start with the public transportation. What do you use to travel around most of the times?
I use my car to travel around, but I did use public transport, but that was when I was going to school. It used to take me around an hour and 15 minutes to go to school, and after that coming back the same amount of time. But with the car it was maybe 15 minutes to go and 15 minutes to come, so there's a lot of difference if you have your own car as compared to having to travel in the public transport.
And what is then the problem? Is it the bus stations or the train stations are at the wrong places, or are it less places? Because in Hamburg, for example, we don't see any problem at all in that. Maybe there's 5 or 10 minutes of walking from any of the public transportation network. And then we just go inside, and then 1 or 2 minutes for every station, and then we are at the place where we want to be.
It's almost the same there. There's not much difference, but the things are kind of scattered in Calgary. So if you have to go from place A to place B, if you do not have a car, then it's going to take you quite some time with the train or the bus. Also depends if you have the connecting routes. So for example, if you have to take a bus first and then a train, then obviously it's going to take longer. Instead, if you just have a train. I prefer train as compared to bus because it has lesser stops than the bus.
Yeah, bus stops every, I don't know, 1 kilometer or even less.
So I traveled with the bus and train for about 6 months or something, but after that I moved near my school, and then I was traveling with one of my dear friends, kind of a family. I didn't have to travel much after that. And after that I bought a car and got a job, and then never traveled with the bus again.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. So in general, it's easy to say that people too in general use cars more often there, or are they more into public transportation?
So if you're working in downtown, then I see that most of the people, they take transit, but I'm still taking my car, even though it's super expensive. It's $300 per month that you have to pay for parking there, and that's the cheap version. In the building that I work in, it's around $570, something like that, which is outrageous. You cannot pay that amount of money just for parking your car per month, because it's crazy. I do not like taking public transit there, because then I would be wasting almost an hour per day, and I can do anything in that time. I can just even lay on my bed and watch some TV and that. So
I think this is a trade-off you always have to make. Do you want to just, for you, is your time more important than your money? And again, it's different phases. Maybe if you have a lot of money, then you will try to save your time, and if you have less money, then of course you will be able to just spending more of your time.
So at the moment I would rather have my time than having those $300 more, but it always depends. For example, when I'll be going back to university, then I will have to travel by transit. Because it will be free anyways. I don't know, I'm way more comfortable in traveling with my car because I can go anywhere, but that also just depends on your, let's say, comfortability. So it's totally up to you. If you talk about the prices, I just told you that for the parking I pay $300 per month in downtown. You can find maybe cheaper parkings, but that's the one which is closest to my work.
Your workplace doesn't have a garage of its own or something where the employees can park?
It does. That's where
but that is
$570. Yeah.
$570.
Yes.
This is outrageous.
No, but in downtown every place is paid. You cannot park at a place on which you don't have to.
In Germany, most of the times when there's a company like that, they have their own garage, and you are allowed to park there for free as long as you're an employee.
That's happening in Calgary, but not in downtown. So the company where I was working before had the same thing. They had their own parking. I didn't have to pay anything, and I was very happy. But the company I'm working now is way better. So.
By the way, he's working in Ernst & Young, so it's
Finally.
such a nice place.
Finally, the kind of dream came true for a person who did his accounting.
Yeah. I mean, Ernst & Young, Deloitte, PwC, and I'm missing something, right? KPMG. These four companies, if you can start working in, then it's really something of an achievement, because otherwise it doesn't have the same kind of weightage if you're not working in one of these companies in your CV.
Especially if you are working in the business field, or if you did your diploma or your bachelor's in business, then these are the companies that you want to go learn from there, and then probably work in that company for a longer period of time.
Okay, so like we covered somewhat of like commute, like what people use and stuff, and also like about the prices. Like we were talking about how expensive things are in Canada, like in supermarket and stuff. And here, like for example, a mozzarella cheese costs like 250 grams. I think it's like 99 cents or something. There it's like way more expensive. Also like other things, I was talking to Kiki and he was like, things are frozen, like they come to the supermarket frozen and preserved, or like I don't know. So there are like lesser fresh things available, and like the life, like these Lebensmittel, how do you say, groceries are more expensive.
Well, the reason is because you cannot plant a lot of stuff in Calgary. It's like 7-8 months of winters, and like what are you gonna grow at that time? So most of the vegetables that we get is mostly from BC or from USA. The fruits come from USA. I personally prefer the things which are produced in Canada because they have way less preservative. That's what I feel. So I'm even willing to pay a couple of dollars more for the ones which are produced in Canada as compared to the one in USA. Apart from that, yes, a lot of stuff does come frozen. For example, broccoli, you will see them lying there with a little bit of ice on there. It gets melted and then people keep buying it. So but you don't have an option there. You know? If you bring the produce every time from, let's say, BC to here, it does take some time, and they need to have some sort of ways to keep it good for the longer period.
And how cold is Canada? Because it's like everybody who thinks about going to Canada, it's like, hey, it must be really cold. So like, let's not talk about Canada, let's talk about Calgary then.
Yeah, I'll just talk about Calgary because I did not live at any other place there. So in Calgary, it's like, it becomes painfully cold in February for sure. It's horrible. So, but after that, if you say so the winter stays there, let's say from October until May, because when I came, it still snowed near May 2nd. It was the time when we were moving to a different house, so it was horrible. I did not like that. But cold in general, you have to have good clothes, otherwise you cannot survive the winter there. Sometimes it's so cold that your hair in your nostril and your eyebrows and everything is frozen. You're out of your house and like you're frozen. And I had been lucky, I didn't have to use a lot of public transport. But if, let's say, our bus is gonna come in 5 minutes and you see that, oh my god, the bus is not coming, the next bus is in 20 minutes, you have to keep moving. Even if it's your legs, you have to keep moving, because once I was stuck there for almost 35 minutes, and because the bus got delayed, and then I was told by a fellow Canadian guy, he was like, okay, keep moving your legs, keep moving your hands, because it was almost minus 38 that day. So it was painful. You need to be prepared all the time when you go out to the house. You have to be prepared.
We haven't seen any of this kind of winter, at least. And is it reasonable to say that maybe just from May till maybe September you have like some kind of summer, otherwise it's just cold?
I would say not even May, I would say June,
July.
Let's make it June, July, August, September.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah. But then around July, August, the sun becomes extremely shiny. Like it's way too warm, and right now I'm living in a basement, so it's like way more relaxing for me, because basements are a little chillier than they're a little colder than the top floor. So I prefer living there. But in winters again, when the temperature goes so below, then yeah, it gets pretty cold in the basement.
Also, I found it really interesting, this like concept of living in basements, because in Germany like that doesn't exist. But in Canada, like you also have like basements which can be like furnished and like people can live there. Here, like that's not the thing at all.
Yeah, it's not a thing here or in India or in I think most of the countries. I don't think it happens a lot in Europe or Russia. Russia as well, because I was talking to my supervisor. She is like my boss, and she said we did not know the concept of basement, and when we told our friends we are living in a basement, they were like, what kind of thing is basement? like what is it's like the small dingy thing that you have. No, basements are really nice there. The one that I moved in right now, it's super spacious, so I can have my sofas there, I can have a tennis table there, I can have all the stuff and still have room for other things. So it just depends on where you move. And also about the prices, for example, you are paying a decent amount of money for the apartment that you're living in, but there I'm paying almost like $750 plus utilities, let's say $800 per month for the basement. It's a 1-bedroom basement.
And this is insane then. Like we are paying 550 euros for the apartment where we are living in right now, and like if you convert that, it's almost the same. That's crazy.
Yeah, but the thing is, my place is like way bigger than this one, so but it's a basement, you know. I do have big windows in this basement, but well, we had a few more options. The reason why I moved in the one with 1-bedroom basement, because I wanted to move with certain people. That's why this was the house that I found would be the best suitable for, well, like best suited for us. And I really wanted to like share the house with those guys, because usually it's a lot of problem when you are moving into a different place and you do not know the neighbors, and it's weird. I don't know, they're like my family, so I try to stick with them.
And that's really nice. Now I want to move to the next point, which is like the salaries that you're paid every 2 weeks, which is like not the concept in Germany at all.
No.
Like you're paid here every single month, and there they're paid every 2 weeks, and it's like, hey, I get money too often, so like let me burn it more because I will be just getting the money again in 2 weeks, right? So like I don't know, maybe like that also explains like why people are spending there a bit more and like people are saving here more.
Well, I don't know what to say. It's like a lot of things are extremely expensive. Just if I talk about the parts that I buy for my car, let's say, because family that lives upstairs, they help me fix my car most of the time. They do almost all the work, and I just like learn from him. So we usually order parts from USA, and the amount it takes for that item to buy that item and for the delivery of that, it's still like less than half of the price that I have to pay if I buy something from Calgary. So it's like, why would I even buy stuff from Calgary if the stuff is way cheaper from USA? It's like, okay, it will take maybe 10 more days, 12 more days, but you'll save ton of money. I cannot talk about whole Canada because I haven't seen it all. So if I talk about Calgary, just even if you go out of your house, you won't see the kind of structure, the buildings and all those things, the rich heritage that Germany has. I would say in Canada, most of the things that you will see are like houses, the shopping complexes, big complexes, huge highways, companies. The downtown is pretty nice, and the river flows right near the downtown, and that's a pretty good view. But if you talk about pretty European streets in which you can see like nice houses on both sides, you have patios, and there are like places where you can go in the morning, you can have your, let's say, one coffee on the patio. It's not that kind of a culture back in Calgary. Yeah, it is, and it's different. I like Europe, but I like Calgary as well. So
yeah, I think also like maybe in Hamburg, like we've also seen, like we went to Denmark, like the people are friendlier in Hamburg. I don't know, like people are a bit more grumpy. In Calgary, he was saying like the people are way nicer.
Yeah, I was super shocked when I saw the reaction of the people here. Like if you go to Canada, I think 90% or maybe even 95% of people, they're like sorry and thank you, and like they would tell you to, okay, please go ahead, and all those kind of things. I did not see that much of I would say respect for other people. I don't know if to use that word as like just their habits.
Yeah, in Hamburg, like I think in the North Germany anyways, I think people are a bit grumpier. You go in the subway, like people are having some kind of grumpy faces. You go on the ferry, people are still having some grumpy faces. In Denmark we went and it was insane. We are just walking down the street and people are going in cars and like they're greeting, like they have their hands on the steering, they're like, hey, and it's so nice. And we're just walking as foreigners and like no problems at all.
If you go even in Calgary, I would say near the village sites and all those. Once mom and dad were there, and I was just having my breakfast with them just on the roadside, and there was a guy who was going towards his farm. He was like, hello, and he greeted both the times he went inside, he greeted us, and when he went out, he greeted us again. And even normally, I would say, if you are just walking, if you'll say hi to anybody, doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter if you saw that person before or not, he's gonna say bye before. A couple of days ago, I was just going around near your apartment, and I said hello to one person, and he was shocked that what did I see. He was looking at me like this. I was like, I said hello. Like, what's so difficult in understanding that? It was weird. It was
I think
not what I'm used to.
Yeah, I think maybe it is a problem of a big city. We saw a few people who were like, you know, hey, nice bikes, or like somebody coming with a dog, or like saying hello or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like that's rare. That's like absolutely rare.
I'm sure there are a lot of people who are gonna write below this video like, these people are criticizing Germany and they're living in Germany and that kind of stuff. But we are just sharing our experiences here. It's possible maybe people don't like our faces. Maybe they like yours better. You never know.
Well, just try it like that.
Exactly.
But anyways, like these are our experiences, and we wanted to document them, at least regarding the lifestyle, the parameters that we could decide for like living in Germany and living in Canada. Yeah, so that was pretty much the video. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have any kind of questions or suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. And again, thanks a lot. Subscribe and share it with your friends.
Please do subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye bye.